Okay. Good evening. It is Thursday. It is a little after 5:30 Alaska time. So that means it's time for Thursday Live. And Grand Madam and Groovy are in the building. Hello, hey, how you doing? Hi. And I even got time to do this. Put a comment in the chat. I always wanted to do this. I'm bored. That's yeah, there. I just posted my own comment. Hooray. And Kamoyo is in the building. Good morning, sir. I mean, after morning, evening. Mr. Smith is in the building. Okay. We doing it. We doing it. Go ahead and hit the thumbs up. I'm cool with this. I like what's going down. You're digging what a brother's shoveling. Go ahead and do that. All that good stuff. I'm all right, Mr. Smith. I'm all right. Ain't no problems. Ain't no problems, everybody. Ain't no problems. Everybody saying hey, 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 and hey. We're a friendly lot. We like to say hi. We've been raised right. You know, we mama say, boy, ain't nobody told you you're supposed to announce yourself when you come in a room. Yes. That lesson is not lost on the people chilling with me on a Thursday. Wait for a few more of y'all to get in here. And I will attack. Yeah, it's a few people. I got some stuff I want to talk about. I got a few things. I got a few things I want to talk about. Trust me, I'm not tired. I'm bored. I can't tell you how boring of a day that I had today. I literally, well, not literally, but I guess almost the equivalent of watching paint dry is kind of what I did today. So I busied myself doing research. And sometimes research consists merely of talking to people or people talking to me. And all I have to do is go and verify it, whether it's yay or nay. Okay. Paul Martin is in the building. What's up, Mr. Martin? The incomparable Be Real. Yeah, that is an accurate, not arrogant statement, because it is difficult to compare me to others of my ilk. Yeah. So yeah, true statement. Okay. Just trying to wait till we get around like a baker dozen or so. But look here, y'all. Amidst all this conversation about who stole what from who in the world of comedy, Steve Harvey stole this. Cedric the Entertainer stole that. Oh, Byron, hello, sir. How you doing? How you doing this evening? But can jokes be copywritten? That was the question. And so, you know what I did? Yes, I researched it. And turns out, yes. Yes, a joke can be copywritten. Now, why aren't more comedians? Why aren't any comedians copywriting their jokes for that matter. Okay. Has anybody in the chat ever went to get something copywritten or copyrighted, excuse me? And my thing is, why don't more do it? Simple. Do you know how much money somebody like a Dave Chappelle or a Eddie Murphy or even Cat Williams, do you know how much money they would have to pay to get jokes copyrighted? Sometimes just to get one property copywritten, you could pay close to $1,000. And I know Cat Williams done told more than 1,000 jokes. I know, put the comedian of your choice in there. And I know they've told more than 1,000 jokes. So they would have to pay like what? Exactly. You see what I'm saying? So stealing jokes ain't nothing new. Do we realize that folks been stealing jokes for, I'm gonna go ahead and say decades, because I ain't been alive a century yet. So, bruh, who getting all them jokes copywritten? And see, even in a field like stand-up comedy, where people are, for the most part, actively trying to avoid using somebody else's joke and still, manage to, because I went back to look, I don't know if y'all have seen the video that does the comparison with Cedric the Entertainer and Meshach Taylor. And there's no doubt in your mind that he stole that joke, because you looking side by side, you know what I'm saying? And you see Meshach Taylor tell the joke, and then you see Cedric the Entertainer do the joke, and it's like, he stole that abominatious thing. 100% stole it. You know what I mean? How do you protect? You can't protect against something like that. And again, like I said, I did a little research. Meshach Taylor died in 2014. Excuse me. The special that Cedric does that joke in is, I want to say, like 2019, 2018, 2019. So the comedian who originally told the joke was deceased by the time Cedric did it. So, what up, Thea? So, is on top of being a plagiarist, is he technically a grave robber? You know what I'm saying? So, I'm just, if you don't want nobody to steal your stuff, why would you not? I mean, it's money to spend, but if you that good, ain't you gonna make your money back? Just a thought, just a thought, just a thought. Family, what we think about that? I mean, just like, I think somebody said it in the chat here. Yeah. We used to recycle your mama jokes. Yeah. I don't know if a lot of people remember it, but there used to be this show, this very, very, very short-lived show on HBO called Snaps. And that was exactly what the show was about. You had a set of comedians over here, a set of comedians over there, and they just step up to each other and they just snap on each other. And whoever had the best snap, had the best snap. But if somebody had a weak snap, then they had to go. You see what I'm saying? So jokes like that, I mean, that because a lot of that stuff that they was doing on snaps, some of it was just like jokes people would tell off the street. You know what I mean? Not necessarily a routine per se, but just like, your mama jokes and just kind of you so stupid jokes and that kind of a thing. Not necessarily something that you would put into a stand-up routine. But just, me on the bus, going back and forth at school with somebody, me on the playground, we knocking back each other's mamas, something crazy. Pause. But but it's just that kind of a thing. So do we copyright that kind of stuff? Do we make that kind of stuff an intellectual property? Sorry about that, y'all. I got a book of poetry here that was written. Well, you see, it was written by me. So, I mean, why wouldn't you copyright your stuff? I mean, it seems like a minuscule process. It seems like a dumb process, but later on down the line, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, somebody's doing your stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a performance poet too. So I do stuff on a stage. So if out of nowhere, I hear, something, I ain't heard nobody say, I put sunshine in a bottle so I can save the day for you. If I hear that anywhere, I'm gonna be dubious. If I hear, picking greens, boiling, chopping chicken, toiling, labor of love, but I'm putting in work, better put on a hard hat and orange cones because somebody might get hurt. If I hear that anywhere other than coming out of my mouth, I'm finna get paid. So why would you not do that? I mean, it seems like a meticulous process, especially when it comes to jokes, because you know what I'm saying? How you gonna, you would need to, you can, it's possible. Anything that you can write down on a piece of paper it can be copywritten. You know what I'm saying? It can become an intellectual property of yours. But I guess by and large, comedians operate on quote unquote an honor system. So it's like, okay, I ain't gonna get at him for using that joke, but if he telling a joke and he getting rich off the joke, I'm gonna have something to say about that. So I really don't understand why more people don't. Um, These Diesel, what's up? Oh my goodness, these Diesel don't remember snaps. Fret not, my brother. It is all over YouTube. Okay. And just so y'all know, Monique, she can snap. Ricky Smiley, he can't snap. And if you don't believe me, just pull it up on YouTube and watch snaps, and that'll tell you everything you need to know. They did that on BET on the Comic View shows as well, if I'm not mistaken. Don't give me the line, Theo. Not too old school version of Wild 'N Out. as you and I measure time, Grand Madam. I see you. Even MTV got into the craze with that cat from Third Rock from the Sun. Right. Boss. Ha! Well, some. um, that's the gist of comedian beef. This mofo stole my jokes. Wasn't Milton Berle legendary for stealing jokes? I think and that's what I'm saying, Paul, back in those days, and even to some degree now, comedians operate on an honor system where it's like, if it's something that, we just happen to cross paths intellectually, and you do it before I do it, or you do it somewhere and then I do it somewhere else, I'm not finna get mad at you. That's just me. But if it's some stuff I went deep down into the bowels of my soul to get, and it took a lot of effort for me to, dredge that up and come up with that concept and brainstorm it and test it out around, different places in the home, in the community, with my friends, that kind of a thing. And then I know it lands and I go out and do it. And then a couple of years later, I hear another mug doing it. Yeah, I'm going to be pissed. You know what I mean? Especially if you didn't come to me and say, I'm still alive, and you didn't come to me and say, I want to do that joke, bro. Will you let me, can I use that joke? Now we got comedian beef like we got rapper beef. You know what I'm saying? Comedians out here beefing over you a joke biter, a dope routine taker. Tell you to your face, you ain't nothing but a faker. Monique, yes, she is. Ricky Smiley is a fun MC, but not a comic. Hey, I am hard pressed, Grand Madam, to argue with Kat's comments about Ricky Smiley. How do I do that? Okay. If you tell me what's your favorite Eddie Murphy joke, I can give you choices. Even Bill Cosby. If you ask me, what's your favorite Bill Cosby joke or routine, I can give you choices. Monique, Cat Williams, Dave Chappelle. What's your favorite Ricky Smiley joke or routine? Right away, him dressing up like a woman or Lil Durrell. What else you got? Some people, sometimes I feel like some people just get famous and they're just famous for the sake of being famous. They're not known for anything. And being on the radio. That's it. Them the three things Ricky Smiley's known for. And Ricky Smiley been around how long? No disrespect, but where's the lie? And I don't want to run the man down. I really don't. I'm just saying, when he put that out there, I was hard pressed to disagree with it. Because to me, at this point in time in life, Ricky Smiley's a radio host. And there's a lot of people that transitioned out of stand-up comedy, some because they wanted to, and others because they wasn't going to be much longer for the comedy world. So, can you copyright your jokes? Yes. Should you copyright your jokes? Yes, with an asterisk. Wasn't there a nasty joke, the aristocrats, that a bunch of comedians did? I remember seeing a documentary about that. Bob Saget was on it. Yeah, yes, Mr. Martin. And that's my point. When there's honor among thieves, or if a joke is so, everybody uses it, then that's, open domain. Anybody can use that joke. Like, why did the chicken cross the road? Could be copywritten, but shouldn't be copywritten, because everybody and their mama on earth has used it at one time or another. You know what I mean? Always a variation on it. Always, that's what you always see with that one. There's always a variation. You can put something in there, just insert the joke of my choice in there. You know what I mean? So Cat is just capitalizing on grievance culture, which is what's popping these days. I agree, Kamoyo, but I also agree that a lot of what he's saying ain't Cat. Yeah, he's running brothers down. Because I agree 100% with Dave Chappelle. Why ain't you running no white comedians down? Why ain't you running no Asian comedians down? Why you ain't running down Aquafina? Why you ain't running down Amy Schumer? Why you ain't running down Jeff Jesselnick? Who? Exactly. But they just handing these folks out $1 million jobs and movies left and right, and letting them host shows and all that. And it's like, but you ain't no legend in the comedy world. You're someone that people behind the scenes in stand-up comedy propped up and said, this is your next one. Ilsa Schlesinger. Not funny at all. But they packing auditoriums. I mean, why ain't you running them down? Probably because he don't know nothing about them, because he don't dwell on that side of the river to know what they are or aren't doing. Professor, what's up? Happy belated birthday. Bill Cosby. He brought the window with him, Daddy. See? See? Push. Yeah. To avoid being fired? Maybe. Yeah, D, that's my point. You going after Cedric the Entertainer, it doesn't sound like it's not him being a gatekeeper so much as it is him being salty. I mean, when you, after a while, you keep, he's being brave, he's being irreverent, he's stepping out there and saying it is what it is, and this is why. But why right now? If all of this been going on since the Kings of Comedy, why haven't we been more vocal about joke biters? Not to say you shouldn't say anything about it, but why aren't we being more vocal? Why aren't there more comedians out there like Cat Williams and Corey Holcomb that's putting more people on blast? Why is it just them? Why ain't it more comedians coming out and, like doing like a Me Too type thing? Yeah, me too, me too, me too, me too. You ain't hearing that though. And quite frankly, I don't want to hear no whole bunch of comedians bitching about somebody stealing their jokes. You know what I'm saying? What do rappers do when somebody bites their rhyme? They make another one. And rappers don't so much worry about that because, again, copywritten. I hear you saying my stuff. You better have a check for me. It is what it is. Cat ain't running down those he wants gigs from. He is as guilty of that which he is pretending to be derisive of. He wants into that world without compromising himself completely. Probably. Folks do get salty. Cat and Corey are self-sufficient. Those other comics need their sponsors. You do have a point. You do have a point. But I would think a better utilization of your self-sufficiency would be to continue to build your brand and your routine and your thing versus running another man down who looked like you, whether he deserves it or not. You know, if we're all trying to, you know, at the same time, we're trying to be keen about respecting one another as Black men. Did what you say need to be said? And there are so many other instances of Cat Williams going to people, being out of line, and talking to them man to man, chopping it up. Now, that part of it, I can respect. If you step into a brother and you saying, hey, man, I need to get at you about that. Because that's what you're supposed to do. As a man, you're supposed to say, hey, yo, let me get at you about that. Because you out of pocket, my dude. You out of pocket. Why is there not more of that? Looking down on someone to pull them up. Not to just talk trash about them. You know? Cat got points. I ain't saying he don't got points, but the way you went about it, bruh. The way you went about it. I mean, you ran everybody down and broke the internet. Was that your goal? Was that what you attempted to do? Or was that a lovely side effect of it? I don't know. And what's more, ain't nobody stole no jokes from me. So I don't care. How about that? How about that? Since we done dealt with one volatile topic, let's get the comments and we're gonna move on to the next one. Cat worth 4 million, Cedric 60 million, Steve 200 million, Ricky Smiley went from 2.5 to 5 million. Corey Holcomb said he's seen two different Cat Williams, the generous cat and the gun-wielding crazy Yosemite Sam cat. Yeah, I could believe that because most of the short guys I know got short man syndrome. And they either ready to shoot at or fight or box or wrestle with you at the drop of a dime to prove, although my stature is small, my fists are hard, or my bullets or aim is true, or whatever. But I mean, that is what it is. You know what I mean? Another topic I wanted to discuss was color swapping. And we're always talking about color swapping in the context of it not being an acceptable thing. And for the most part, I can respect that. But when will color swapping be acceptable? I thought about it and I came up with an answer, sort of. Color swapping, I believe, and this is just my opinion, color swapping should be acceptable on characters who are not of any earthly color, earthly ethnicity. Even if the character is depicted with a Caucasoid appearance or look, there should still be some latitude to be able to swap that character out. And here's the thing. I just take one of my favorite characters. I don't know if I have a picture of it, but I will pull it down here real quick, like day 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 perfect example right here. Boom. Drizzt Do'Urden, the Drow elf. Now, Drow elves are kind of pale in color, not quite white, almost kind of a grayish, dull, vampirish kind of color because they live underground, right? So ain't a lot of light hitting them. Who's to say Brandon T. Jackson couldn't play Drizzt Do'Urden? Okay, he's an elf. That's not white or black. Why couldn't an African American actor play him? You see what I'm saying? Somebody who's never been physically revealed. Someone who's covered in all armor. Someone we never seen before. I give you the perfect argument a couple years back. The Titans show. Everybody was angry because they got an African woman, to portray Starfire. Now, you get a lot of arguments, and that argument is split down the middle like this: 50% of the people was pissed off because Starfire was being portrayed by an African woman. The other half were pissed off about it because Anadop's body type did not jibe with what Coriander's body type is. In other words, Coriander in the comics is thicker than peanut butter in the refrigerator. Anadop, not so much. So, does that become a cool swap or not a cool swap? It is, because Starfire is an alien. Starfire's not black. Starfire's not white. I mean, if we're being perfectly technical, ain't Starfire orange? We got orange racism now. So I don't see how that one was a problem. Oh, we need a white woman to play. Nah. I'm thinking if you're going to get a white woman to play Starfire, it should be somebody like Coco, Ice-T's wife. Because that's what I think when I see, and tall. That's what I think when I see her. I don't think no skinny African woman. I don't. I mean, no offense to the woman. She's a beautiful woman, but she's not Starfire. At least not what we envision as Starfire. See? See? Oh, wait a minute. That one right there. Ooh. Yeah. Kratos, a Greek guy and a Norse guy, voiced by two African American men. And nobody said nothing. You know why? They couldn't see him. All you saw when you saw Kratos, oh, I'm the ghost of Sparta. Boy, you didn't see Christopher Judge. You didn't see T.C. Carson. You saw Kratos. So that swap was acceptable. See what I'm saying? We talk about them like it's just not possible. No, just don't be blatantly stupid with the swap. That's the problem. The swaps they do now are just we on purpose insulting as many people as we can possibly insult. We're gonna make Simon and Eric Williams black. Who asked for that? Who? Literally no effing body asked for that. What y'all doing in these comments, man? Or green, orange, blue. Yeah, period. That whole thing, that should not ever, 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 ever be an issue. You know, with aliens, race, and who plays them should never, ever, ever be an issue. Unless. Yes, you did see it coming. I would love for a brother to be Drizzt because his story leans into that. Yes, it does. So that's what I'm saying. Why do we set up in our heads without even seeing anything? And I say, who you think would be a good actor to play Drizzt? But then you see Drizzt and you look at Drizzt, and because Drizzt has Caucasian features and Drizzt is in a whole world and a universe designed by Caucasian men, we automatically assume should be a white guy. C to D-level characters with everyman backstories. See Marvel's Paladin or Captain Ultra. Captain Ultra. Captain Ultra. The Martian Manhunter of the Marvel Universe. Sort of. A sister or a pog. Oh, for Starfire? Yeah. Coriander should always be orange. Any ethnicity would do. And to a certain extent, yeah, I agree with that mostly. Yeah. Why not? Sup, Chad? What's up? Sup? Injustice 2 video game, Starfire just looks just like an orange Zendaya. She kind of does. Okay, so I guess the question that I am positing is, will there ever be a cast that is swapped in some way, shape, or form that we will approve of? Because for the most part, when we get a character and their color swapped, race swapped in some way, shape, or form, we are up in arms about it. So are we going to be up in arms about? I mean, because we already pissed off about Wonder Man. You know what I mean? Because that was uncalled for. Is my whole point. There was no need to do that. There was a dragon in the guise of a human, aka Malcolm Drake. Only appearance in Heroes for Hire number 14. In live action, race wouldn't matter. Indeed. Indeed. She said, give it another 500 years. Sometimes, Grand Madam, it certainly does seem that way, doesn't it? Alan Ritson, yeah, yeah. Because as long as he can stand beside a Chris Hemsworth and not make Chris Hemsworth look like a midget, I'm sorry, little person. Yeah, yeah. I mean, what would have been wrong with that? Y'all still arguing about Starfire's tone? Hello, Zoltar. You dive right in. It's okay. Gotcha. High evolutionary didn't matter because he only had to be a genius and a nut job. And because by and large, nobody who doesn't read comic books know who the high evolutionary is, let alone his race. And most of the time, when you see the high evolutionary, covered from head to toe. So, and that's what I'm saying goes back to those characters who are armored up, masked, that kind of a thing. You know what I mean? And how come because Galactus, why we ain't never seen no black Galactus? Galactus appears in the form of the race of the planet he's about to devour. There are Caucasoid people on the planet Earth. There are Negroid people on the planet Earth. There are Mongoloid, as an Asian, people on the planet Earth. And every other ethnicity is a derivative of those three. Why do we never see a black Galactus? Why do we never see an Asian Galactus? Yeah, edutainment is what I do. Yeah, yeah, a lot of stuff no one asked for. Hey, Keita, how is you doing? I don't see Gray. Where's Gray? Recast Thor with the Man Mountain. I don't know. We don't want no gigantic guy that can't act. I want to believe that guy is Thor. And as much as that guy would look like Thor, he wouldn't be able to deliver Thor to me. So yeah, I get it. Same thing with back in the 60s when they had Steve Reeves as Hercules. He only had the body for Hercules. He didn't have the acting chops for Hercules, so his voice was dubbed. That was 1959. I don't think we getting ready to do no stuff like that in 2024. Of course we can see it. Gablactus. Gablactus. Why it ain't Gawitis? Why it ain't Galactus' son? Moyo with the one-liners. I know. The chocolate folks across the planet. Y'all people. Where is the black Kryptonians? On season 4, Young Justice. Yeah, somebody finally decided to make General Zod black. And General Zod had a son. And they all got out of the negative zone. So, yeah, they did that. They did that. Yeah, it's great. What's up? I mean, yeah, I see that, D, but that is still along the lines of comic book lore. Nobody's ever examined it, though. I've seen Galactus as a scroll. What's so hard about seeing him as an African American black man? You know why. Yeah, that's the answer to that one. You know why. Would you have been okay with Jim Hammond, the android Torch, being black in the MCU? Would Jim Hammond been okay with being black in the MCU? Jim Hammond came out in what, 1939? Oh, yeah, it wasn't very cool at all to be a black guy in 1939 wearing a red skin tight suit. Yeah, yeah. The G child. Yeah. What's the topic? Acceptable race swaps. For the most part, because that's what I was alluding to, was race swaps that are acceptable, and the so-called swap of Starfire in Titans, Gray. Why was that a big deal? If in the comics the character's depicted as orange, WTF? Because we wanted to be a white woman. Nothing more. Coriander's never been a white woman. Coriander stands next to white women and they look super pale. So why would you get a white woman? And while I'm on the subject, what does Raven Darkholme look like? Why couldn't Halle Berry have been Mystique? If she got on the blue makeup, what effing difference does it make? Not that Rebecca Romaine and Jennifer Lawrence didn't do a good job, but think about it. Just think about it. Think about it. Why the black folk had to be in the negative zone? Bruh. You're going to have to write a letter. But for some reason, we always see him as white. My question is, where are the cosmic powered black men villains? Black Racer. You know, we can only have one per quarter century. Yeah, if you look somewhere besides Marvel or DC, I mean, technically, Spawn, technically, ooh, knocked him over. If you don't stop, that guy right there. Don't fret, y'all. Matter of fact, you can't see him. I'll take him. This used to be Cogliostro, and I'm like, why did Cogliostro all of a sudden become black? I don't know. Y'all tell me. Is that or is that not? Is it? Look like a black Lex Luthor, don't he? Originally, that character was white. I do a little cleanup. That's all. Blue Skin Creek. Wendell Vaughn sounds black. You'll get no argument with me. Reagan Gomez Preston would have been a great Mystique. Wow. Maya Maya probably could still be Mystique. Yeah, the singer Maya. Yeah, and she's acted before. So yeah, I'd be willing to try her as a Mystique. And she still look good. She came up here about 2 years ago. Hepzibah from the Starjammers. Yep, she's furry and white. Put a bunch of white fur on I don't know, Megan Thee Stallion. Yeah, I'm just throwing names out there. Yeah. Hepzibah is hotness. Makes me want to see what a furry hey. I ain't mad at you though. I used to like that brother, Maxim from Infinity Watch. What happened to him? Oh, you think so? Huh. I guess so. Oh yeah, I could probably get let's do it side by side. Does that look like me, y'all? You say you look like your neighbor? The D-real variant. I need some kind of variant. Because that one wasn't working over there with the Black Panther. I don't know what that brother was thinking. Hell, T'Challa. That don't even look like me. That don't even look like me, do it? Not at all. But I ain't gonna throw it in the trash. Man, y'all went nuts. Yeah, Maya. Yeah. It's just bruh, fellas, you gotta see her close up. Okay. Yeah. That's all I can say. Yeah. We approve of Maya, Keita? That apparently some folks think it is. Maxim went back to the future after they faked Warlock's death. Yeah, because I fell off with Infinity Watch. I was with him through that Blood and Thunder thing, but after that, there was an Avengers foe. Imus. You put I must. You must be voice. Yeah, Imus champion. I remember. Don't know what he would. Imus champion. Two appearances in the Marvel Universe total. Yeah, he could totally be black and nobody would notice. Nobody would know at all. That and he does look like a bald head GW. Who cute, Grand Madam? Who are you talking about cute? D Real Doom? Hi, I like that. Maya carnival costume. Maya in any costume. She could be. She could be. She could be. She could be. Maya equals Paul's wifey. Well, where was you? Where was you at? Where was you at? Oh, and didn't you say Sade was your wife? Uh-oh, you bigamy? Or just a polyamorous relationship? I'm messing with you, Paul. It's all love, baby. It's all love. Okay. All right, time for us to get serious for a second. Yeah, for a second. Let's see. Paul has a type. Indeed, he does. Paul, you probably be in the Illuminati, according to Cat Williams. Polyamorous. I like that. Nice zinger, Paul. Ooh, yeah. 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 That was in DC, wasn't it? And she's from DC. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Real talk. Real talk. Yes. Man, how come my okay. We still going. It's just this slow. This is slow. So I'm gonna go boom like that. Now, where were we? What in the okay. Okay. So let's change gears, y'all. Let's change gears. We going in for T'Challa. Going in for T'Challa. Up in the corner there. Up in the corner there. Now, here's the thing. The buzz that I am hearing on the in different areas on social media. Regardless of the sparkling performances, the letters that have been written mostly by people around here in the chat, because sales of the current Black Panther run are not where they should be. I think currently Black Panther is holding at the 100 and I want to say 70 something best selling comic book. That is definitely grounds for the book to be canceled. Now, my concern is not whether or not the book will be canceled. My concern is if she's telling a story, and by she, I mean Eve Ewing, will they allow her to finish telling her story? Or are they going to cut her off? And real quick, somebody in the chat tell me how many issues did Eve Ewing's Ironheart run for? Anybody, just off the top of your head, how many issues did Eve Ewing's Ironheart run for? Is it 12 or is it 5? You know what? Yeah, I was about to say. Yeah. So let's go with D's number and say 12. And Photon was meant to be 5 issues. That was never meant to be more than 5 issues. Now, Ironheart, well, I know it didn't last 25 issues. Ironheart didn't even last 25 issues. So, and people say, oh, it was great writing. It was great writing. It was great writing. Well, if it was so great, why didn't it last? Because her run came after BMB, that shouldn't matter. Good writing is good writing, no matter who does it. Night Thrasher popped. My goal is not to debate right now, but what my goal is to get people to understand that they shouldn't be pissed off if. Not because of anything. I mean, it would be real easy to say if that book ends after 15 issues is Eve Ewing's fault. But I don't think folks fully embraced it because, number one, Eve Ewing was ambiguous about explaining the relationship between T'Challa and Besa, and then revealing that Besa is a trans woman made that more awkward. So, and I'm going to just go ahead and say it, and I don't want nobody in the chat to be offended, but y'all show me where the lie is. By and large, black males are homophobic. Heterosexual black males are homophobic. I'm not generalizing. I'm saying by and large. Most of the men I run into, ultra homophobic. Most of the men I have, we go back and forth. They, folks that I get squeamish at 2 men kissing on TV as much as the next man. But if I got a gay man standing in front of me, it's not fucking with my manhood or my, how I feel as a man. That doesn't make me feel no kind of way because that guy does what he does or prefers what he prefers. That doesn't bother me. You see what I'm saying? My thing is, Can you trust this woman to finish her story and you still be happy after the end of it? Because all I hear on X, all I hear on other content providers, how we ain't gonna be happy until T'Challa gets back on the throne. Okay, but what if he don't? If he don't get back on the throne, you done with Black Panther? You ain't never gonna read Black Panther ever again? You see an Avengers comic book with Black Panther in it, you ain't gonna buy it? Is that where you're at? T'Challa has to be on the throne to mean anything. I mean, I get, we don't want no Batman clone. I get that. And I said that way, like in review when we reviewed issue number 2, I was like, that's kind of Batman-esque, and everybody decided to jump down my throat about it. That's not bruh. If it walk like a duck, talk like a duck, quack like a duck, guess what the it is? Okay, maybe it wasn't intentional, but I'm sorry, it looks that way, or it did look that way. Okay, now if you, I'm like T'Challa. I ain't got no problem being around or hanging out with anybody in the LGBTQ community, but for the most part, heterosexual men don't like it. They don't like it, and so who do you think's reading Black Panther? Not trans women or gay men. So why put anything in there like that? That's kind of you setting traps for yourself when you do things like that. If you know your audience, cater to your audience. If you building up to putting T'Challa back on the throne, okay. But if we go 15 issues deep and we ain't even mentioned it, yeah, because that's one of my goals too. But I'm willing to let her finish that story arc out. But 170 something on in comic sales is not good. I buy the issue and a variant or two when I do buy it. So, I mean, I'm doing my part. What can we do that will, we buying the book. What else can we do? Is it that overall it may not be a popular book? And I hate to be the one to be like bringing this to y'all, but think about it. Think about it. What I have talked too much. Let me see what y'all talking about. I think you're getting short runs because if a writer has a longer run, Marvel would have to pay them more. Yeah, and from what I've read, because I've subscribed to getting and sending emails to e-viewing, and baby girl is busy. She is busy, 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 busy. And if that book continues, don't be shocked if Eve turns the reins over to another artist. If it manages to survive more than 15 issues. I want it to, but I mean, let's go back and look at just about every run outside of Avengers and Fantastic Four and Tales of Suspense that Black Panther has had. Jungle Action. Black Panther took over in issue 5. And issue 5 was a reprint of Avengers number 62. Issue 6, first appearance of Killmonger, the beginning of Panther's Rage. That ran for about 18 issues. Then we got the Jack Kirby Black Panther run. 15 issues. And that was Jack Kirby. Jack Kirby. 15 issues. Had a couple temporary group, had a couple temporary. And then you had Panther's Quest in Marvel Presents, and that it had a long run, but them stories was only like 6-7 pages. I got it in a trade paperback so I can read it all back to back. But yeah, that was the run. Then you had the Christopher Priest run, and that ran for about, I think, like 60 something issues. Then you had the Hutland run that ran for about 40 something issues. Then you had the Ta-Nehisi Coates run. That was like, what, 25? Then you had the John Ridley run. 15 issues. When has T'Challa consistently had a long run? Don't get mad at me. I'm just presenting the facts. When has he had a long run longer than the Priest run? He hasn't. Priest run was the longest run because Priest run didn't just focus on him being king. Priest's run didn't just focus on him being in Wakanda. Priest put T'Challa in different situations, in different dimensions, period. If you're going to make Black Panther into a mainstream character, you got to have Black Panther doing mainstream shit. If you relegate Black Panther to being the king of Wakanda, and I say that carefully because I know who I'm in the room with. If you relegate him to just, hear what I'm saying, just being the king, to the point where all your focus goes from forget what T'Challa can do, like with the most dangerous man alive and shit like that, that he can rock in whatever environment, concept, or scheme you put him in. He don't necessarily always have to be King T'Challa. And he can still be an interesting character. He can still be a readable character. But there are a lot of us out there that are like, F it. I ain't willing to give Eve Ewing the chance no more. I don't want to give Eve Ewing the chance no more. We 8 issues in and I'm tired. 8 issues in and you tired? What happened if you don't get the throne until 20? You just gonna give up? You gonna have to go back and pick up all the issues in between because you got tired and stop trying to keep up with what was going on with T'Challa. I'm not willing to give up on T'Challa, but if they cancel the book, sales is sales, and that's the only thing they can base the continued existence of T'Challa on. At least in a comic book world, that's all I'm saying. I think she's finishing it up at 10. Yeah, okay. But that's my thing. What happens when? Because, see, we done all wrote in and said, please don't cancel the book. We done all wrote in and said, we enjoying the book. But this is us. Black Panther fan groups enjoying the book. Recast T'Challa's enjoying the book. There's a few selected social media providers out there who are enjoying the book. But how many people aren't? Do you see what I'm saying? I'm not being a Debbie Downer. I'm saying be freaking realistic. How many people ain't? And what can we do as the BPFG to change that? And that's going to be my BPFG topic, but we'll get to that in a second. That is true, D. That is true. My best man and one of my closest friends came out ages ago. We still close. I see the hardcore homophobia, though, even with some of them copying Gay Brothers' style. Bruh, that's, man, I'm telling you, y'all just do not realize how deeply that affected the trajectory of that book. It did. I didn't want it to, but it did. It did. The previous writer, and to a much lesser extent, the writer before, did damage to the BP. Yeah, but like always, they gonna blame it on the woman. We know Ridley dog walked T'Challa for 15 issues. But if this run ain't successful, they gonna blame it on Eve. Y'all tell me. I wasn't crazy about Coach's run. You know what I'm saying? He had a couple of little zingers there, here and there, and and Intergalactic Empire, but for the most part, didn't really care for that run. Ta-Nehisi Coach run is the introduction for a lot of people. That's their introduction to Black Panther. So they don't know nothing about that before. Hutland, Priest, or even Kirby or McGregor. We don't know nothing about that. Well, I don't say we, they don't know nothing about that at all. I feel like Besa was inserted by the editors or someone with an agenda. To be continued, Kamoyo. Keep that thought in your head. When we get to issue 15 of Black Panther, keep that thought in your head. Seems several BP fans prefer the Priest era and the Hutland era stories. Yeah, they do. But I mean, cold hard ALS challenge water in your face. Christopher Priest ain't coming back to do Black Panther. At least not at this point. I haven't heard anything about Christopher Priest coming back to do Black Panther. So me, as a griot and a classic man, and someone who is a gatekeeper for the history of the character, it'd be a wonderful thing to see Priest come back, but if the book ain't selling, do we think Priest will drive sales up? It's a thought. Like the art and costume design, the villains kind of bore me, but so do many other Marvel villains. I guess. There are other books that were not selling well, but they were not canceled and never will be because of the character. I'd have to look. But of all of the characters I read and rock with, T'Challa's the furthest down. So, yeah. I mean, they ain't at 170 something. They ain't even at 100 something. You see what I'm saying? So you gotta stay above 75. If you ain't in the top 75, you on the chopping block. Period. Don't matter who you are. Don't matter what company you are. Because the whole idea behind making comics is to sell comics. And if you ain't selling comics, why the hell are you going to keep making? That would be my thought as an editor-in-chief too. Why are we going to keep making this book if we ain't making no money? I ordered both trade paperbacks. Volume 1 is issues 1 through 5. Volume 2 is 6 through 10. The story she is stepping into next will most likely take 10 or more issues to wrap up. This is true. However, though, if the book ain't selling, that's always a possibility. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but you need to understand that's a real possibility, because I don't want to hear nobody sitting around shocked. Oh, they canceled Eve. Yes, that was always a possibility. If that mug ain't debut at number 10 or 15 or something like that, you know what I'm saying? And then you plunge all the way down to 170 something. Ooh, not a good look. No shade to Eve, but having a big name creative team on a book usually helps. That wasn't the case here. Okay. Derek Bozeman said that a black man as a king is not what they want to see. He should always have a book. I agree with you, Mr. Smith. I think T'Challa should always have a book, because to me, he's a very layered and interesting character. Unfortunately, Mr. Smith, you and I are in the minority. We writing letters, man. We being vocal. What more can we do? What more can we do? I think Miles Morales has had more total issues than T'Challa, and Miles is only 12 years old. Well, if T'Challa was aped and duplicated from an already existing character, he'd probably have more issues too. Unfortunately, he's an original concept, or fortunately, he's an original concept. So, and the first 10 years of his existence, he was a sidekick and also ran and a CD lister at best. Let's just keep it a buck, man. I mean, after Jungle Action, what happened with T'Challa? Because Jungle Action was over in 74. 74, 75, somewhere around that time. Okay. And Black Panther didn't get that Jack Kirby run until 77. So literally 3 years after a critically acclaimed run, almost 3 years, no T'Challa. I mean, he had like little brief appearances and shit like Marvel Team Up and Marvel 2-in-1, and might have made an Avengers appearance here and there. But I mean, that wasn't for him. That didn't exclusively showcase him. I believe that the impatient ones are being gaslit by some cynical YouTubers. They all have the same argument suddenly at the same time. Well, and I'm looking more at the history of his runs than what people are saying. I mean, that adds to it, but I'm looking at the history of his runs. And classically, you know what I'm saying? Black Panther number 100. Not Legacy. Black Panther number 100 does not exist. Until Black Panther 100 exists, T'Challa ain't going to get the respect he deserves. T'Challa is not going to be considered more than a C-lister. And the only way to do that, consistent runs. Long, consistent runs. And that has to be told to people higher up. We telling them about a great job they doing. We also need to tell them when we giving them side eye. At least I feel that way. They probably wouldn't print it, but I mean, and that tells you right there that there might be something sinister and sly on the sneak tip going on that we don't know about. Marvel's been notorious for short runs since the 2000 12 Marvel Now relaunch. Yeah, well, runs come when you become that character. Runs come when you go from C to B. That's when you get runs. Okay, and they're going to have to string together, and I've been saying it for a while now, they're going to have to string together a coherent, solid rogues gallery for the man. A hero's only good as his villains. What has the, honestly, what formidable villain has T'Challa faced in this EBU run? And I'm not knocking this book. I just got done writing a damn letter. Be aware is all I'm saying. Be aware, because there ain't gonna be no up in arms, raging, angry, and we go stomping with pitchforks and torches if we ain't doing everything we can beforehand. You want the book to continue? Tell somebody. You don't like the direction the book is going in? Tell some, and I don't mean on X, I don't mean on Twitter, I don't mean on go tell the mugs that make the damn book. Then I feel the way about that I feel about voting. And this is just me. Again, if you vote and your candidate don't win, you have a right to bitch and complain. If you vote and what you wanted to see come to pass don't come to pass, that person you back that got elected ain't doing what they supposed to be doing, you got a right to bitch and complain. But if you just sitting here telling me, you just sitting here telling X, and that's what a lot of people are doing. They're telling X. They on X telling people. But I know some people here in the chat that get active and get vocal and go somewhere else, because I've seen them in other venues, in other forms of communication and social media speaking on it. So, yeah, I mean, that where we need to go. Would y'all like a noirish take on T'Challa? Maybe Gary Hardwick's area? I would love to see my brother Greg Burnham and Marcus Williams do Black Panther. He's got kind of an anime style. I'm not even so much concerned about the style. I'm concerned about the stories. I want some lush, deep, fresh, funky stories. You know, we ain't got to stay up in Wakanda. You know what I mean? T'Challa, the most technologically advanced country on the planet, you should be able to go wherever you want to go and do whatever you want to do. You know, not just, center stories in Wakanda. Just my thought. I mean, Don McGregor did Jungle Action because he saw that Jungle Action didn't have nothing but fake ass Tarzans and Jana of the Jungle ass white characters in a book called Jungle Action, and they wasn't showcasing no African characters. And they was like, all right, Don, you take over the book. The only stipulation, that shit has to take place in Africa. And they thought they had Don stumped. And Don was like, hold my beer, and said, I'm going to use the Black Panther. Black Panther got a whole country in Africa. And the rest is history. Take apples and make freaking applesauce. You can work around what they give you. You just got to be slicker. You just got to be smarter. Coaching you up, Evie. Coaching you up, boo-boo. Do what you got to do. Make it happen. Prove these haters wrong. I'm with that, but reality's a bitch, y'all. That's all. Reality is a bitch. And she got sharp claws. T'Challa needs to be on globe-trotting adventures on world and off-world. He said that he's more than his throne. He didn't say that he didn't want it. Gray. My dude. dropping bombs on their ass. Thank you, sir. I co-sign. I think some readers might have felt catfished by Besa and dropped the book. Yes. And a lot of them are on X telling us about it. They prefer the priests and hunting runs because T'Challa was framed more in the Western view that MCU Killmonger hails from. Again, like what Gray said, globetrotting. And that's what I think it was. He 1 second he's in New York, another second he's in Wakanda, then another second he's somewhere else, then he's in another dimension. Then you know what I'm saying? That's what ain't that what you see with other characters? Avengers don't just be in New York. Fantastic Four don't just be in New York. Thor don't just be in Asgard. Why do we have to ensconce the man in one spot? Oh, well, he ain't Black Panther if he ain't in Wakanda. That's not true. Black Panther, the most dangerous man alive, was a great run. Took place in Hell's Kitchen. Captain Marvel never sells well, but she constantly gets a run. Mario, you know why? Because Carol Danvers has been elevated to flagship status. Not flagship, but she's a B-lister now. Captain Marvel ain't a C or D lister or an also ran. But bear in mind, she ain't got no Rose Gallery. So you can do what you want to do when you want to do it. It just depends on who doing it and who they're being asked to do it to. And that's what I'm saying to y'all. They're not gonna do. If T'Challa's sales was through the roof, it wouldn't effing matter. None of it. It wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter how terrible that book was doing. If everybody loved T'Challa and showed that they loved T'Challa, BP could use that Jonathan Hickman X-Men treatment, tying all Wakanda lore into a big event level storyline. That would work too. Again, I say though, T'Challa needs a rogues gallery. Flash over in DC remains a viable, viewable character because of his rogues gallery. Batman just got folks riding his jock, and it don't matter who he fight. You know what I'm saying? I long for the day that T'Challa becomes that way, that he's just to the point where it don't matter. You can just throw him in any scenario. You know what I'm saying? T'Challa at the beginning of time. Poof. You know what I'm saying? T'Challa in the 85th century. T'Challa in Smurfland. Poof. You know what I'm saying? And you just that guy, you could just throw him in any kind of story, any kind of scenario, and it'll fly because I would love for his excuse to be because he's the Black Panther. And you ain't got to explain shit. Because he's the Black Panther. Because he's Batman. You need a kick-ass creative team and story to pull readers in. I remember the Batman Hush storyline. Every issue was a banger filled with water cooler moments. Yeah. Who wrote that? And I know I was on it. I nothing more than Jim Lee's art. I like Jim Lee's art. Some people don't, but I like Jim Lee's art. So yeah, I was there for that because I like the man's style. Yeah, whatever reason, it was a hit. Cause you got a Hush action figure. I don't see. You got a Hush animated movie. And Quiet as Kept, I think that'd be a successful venue for the Black Panther. I think that's where they need to go with him. Give him a cartoon. Give him an animated movie where we can still see T'Challa. You know, and when they see the resounding response to T'Challa, they won't think we just fanatics whistling Dixie. It's a bunch of ways to do it. It's a bunch of ways to do it. Look at it this way. What A-level characters in both Marvel and DC can't keep long-running ongoings? Um, you tell me, Paul Martin. Because I'm sitting here thinking about it and I'm like, that's an interesting question. Yeah, you tell me. Bruh, a BP Hush. Yeah, yeah. I could see a BP Hush story with somebody like a Chibe, Jakara getting together. See some stuff like that. We have to look at comics differently as now as you have tie-ins to films, games, and other media. I get that. I 100% get that. How many film, games, and extra media tie-ins does T'Challa have? Yeah. T'Challa has been at worst high B list since Priest Run. Really? You and I have a very different idea of what's B list. I'm basing B list or C list on nothing more than sales, not what I like. You see what I'm saying? I don't get to say T'Challa is an A-list or a B-list character. T'Challa is an A-list or a B-list character based on his sales, not me saying he's a B or an A-list character. Go and check the book's sales. That's what I'm saying to you. I'm not saying I love T'Challa, okay? But the book ain't selling the way it's supposed to. I hope somebody, in the comments said, there's other characters out there, they shit ain't selling, but they still get to keep their book. Y'all know how the world works, especially when it comes to people that complexion right there. We by and large don't get fair shakes when it comes to breaking ground in an industry that we don't dominate, because they know we're gonna dominate it. That's why we get the shiesty treatment. Maybe 10 or so years ago, if a book sold less than 20,000 units, Marvel would cancel and maybe relaunch. US comic sales are way lower now than they were then. So at that point, I have to take it. If I'm the editor of Marvel Comics, what makes my company run? Money. How do I get money? I sell comic books. If people are buying Miles Morales, guess what? I'm going to keep making Miles Morales shit. If people are buying Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, Squirrel Girl, Ms. Marvel. I don't create those numbers. I create those numbers by my actions, but by and large, I don't dictate what's A list, B list, C list. What kind of character is Ms. Marvel? A, B, or C list? What kind of character is Ironheart? A, B, or C list? And why are they still on everybody's lips, regardless of the fact that how the book's doing? One's non-existent, if I'm not mistaken. But like somebody alluded to in the comments, character's still around. Book ain't selling, but we still talking about him. Go see how Jon Stewart's book is doing. Go see how Static's book is doing. See what I'm saying? Drop that email link, say less. Boom. There we go. Wonder Woman is a character that is in the mainstream. I don't think she has ever had series with hundreds of issues or multiple series simultaneously. Wonder Woman's book didn't get canceled and relaunched until after Crisis on Infinite Earths. And at that time, she was 200 and something plus issues deep. I know the first appearance of Nubia was in Wonder Woman 202. No, not 202. 200 and something. The low 200s. Okay, and that was in the early 70s. And Wonder Woman had a book clear up until 1983, 84. That's a run, Paul. That's a run. And like somebody alluded to, she was in the media. She was appearing in other stuff. She was on Super Friends. She had her own TV show. Hell yeah, her comic's gonna sell. So yeah, I am inclined to disagree. And then even when she got another book, that book ran for a couple hundred issues. So yeah, what were we talking about? Burnham Black Panther would be lit. Yes, it would. A David List Black Panther run was very noir. Yes, it was. And I liked it. I just didn't like the art. I wasn't crazy about the art. I am so over Wakanda. Time for T'Challa to be a mainstay in the mainstream. I can rock with that. I think the overemphasis on Wakanda characters not named T'Challa since his MCU debut hurt in the long run. I can agree with that as well. I've still never forgiven Marvel for canceling Red She-Hulk, which sold more copies than the first Captain Marvel relaunch. Okay, so what we're seeing is they gonna do what the F they wanna do. So from what I'm hearing, if the sales go up, that still ain't gonna change nothing. They're gonna cancel it if they want to cancel it. Diesel, you and I can relate to this. Marvel is trying to Chicago Bear size Captain Marvel. Primetime games due to the number of eyes, not merit. Jim's been my favorite. Aha, Jim Lee. Yeah. Jim Lee got the draw T'Challa in Fantastic Got to draw T'Challa and Fantastic Four Heroes Reborn. Yes, he did. Not many what? Elaborate. Paul Martin. Give T'Challa to Hickman. He can have a wingman who knows the character alongside him. That part. We need T'Challa writers to tell Marvel Wakanda is wherever he sets his feet. Diplomatic community. Yeah. Dr. Doom does that shit on a daily. Echo. We know people love the show. You got jokes. Hey, sure. The reason why I think T'Challa is A-list, because working in a library, I see a bunch of kids and teens, graphic and prose novels. Okay. I knew Static S from the cartoons, but their Zeta, is he a character from DC? Bruh, we talk about Black Panther. Stay focused. Oops, I have been collecting comics for 50 years and combined have less than 40 issues of DC Trinity solo stuff. That's by choice then. I am not the barometer by which comic book sales are measured. The manner in which I collect comics is unique to me. So if I get every appearance of Ambush Bug, that doesn't mean Ambush Bug is a great character. It just means I like Ambush Bug. If I get all the appearances of Rom the Space Knight, it does not mean Rom the Space Knight is a great character. It means I like the character. A lot of things determine what makes a character great. I mean, popularity, if you constantly pushing that character out there, constantly pushing that character out there, but something else has to happen when you constantly pushing that character out there. People have to absorb that character. I know I bring it up all the time. The Phantom. Phantom ain't got no comic book. A lot of people know who the Phantom is, though. Vampirella. A lot of people could say sex sells. Vampirella has been around so long because her outfit. Or vampires appeal to people. Dracula. Always been around in one shape or form or another. Next to Sherlock Holmes, he is the most popular character in all of fiction. Everybody knows who Dracula is. See him getting that? Sales is just a very small part of it, but you got to appeal to everyone. You can't just appeal to a demographic. You gotta have mass appeal. Mass appeal, like Guru used to say. Gotta have mass appeal. Y'all ain't gonna let this go. We got to slow down, man. I got some more topics I got to get to. If a character is popular and popping, that character needs to be in 3 or 4 ongoing books, a cartoon series, video games, and film. I agree. Hey D, when are you do the stream? Which, if you don't stop it, that's what we talking about. Stop asking questions and listen. I hunted down and bought every issue of Luke Cage and the Defenders. Because you like Luke Cage. Don't mean everybody else do. And that's all I'm saying we need to be aware of. I love T'Challa. How come they canceled the book? Because he's not as popular with me as he is with everybody else. That's something you got to be prepared for, because I've been dealing with it the better part of 40, 50 years. I got into jungle action. I wanted jungle action to last for 100 issues. The shit got canceled at like what, 24? Oh, if you want to see T'Challa, you're going to have to go over here. Then you give me the Jack Kirby run. Black Panther's back. Here we go. I'm rocking and I'm shocking and I'm cocking with T'Challa. 15 issues later, poof, gone. Oh, look, Panther's Prey. 4 issues, gone. Oh, look, look at that. That's a Black Panther. 4 issues, gone. I have been dealing with T'Challa disappearing all his career. In the 90s, just relegated to cameo appearances. Oh, made an appearance in Captain America. Oh, made an appearance in Spider-Man. Oh, pulled up in the Avengers. When we gonna give him his own book? Keep pulling up in everybody else's stuff. See what I'm saying? Much as I love him, that didn't stop him from canceling him. Most that you can do is the best that you can sometimes. The T'Challa dynamic changed with the film. We know our people don't read as much as they watch on screen. Marvel tried replacing T'Challa and faced the backlash. Yes, they did. To test the waters, he is appearing more in the comics because they want the demographic. Yeah, because ain't nobody. Nobody. Next topic, I agree. Thank you, Gray. Damn. We were just beating that up. Okay. Real quick. If you was Bob Iger, Bob Chapek, how would you run Disney? Would you make shit like Echo? Secret Invasion? What are people? What are they? What's their major disconnect? They don't see that company being literally being run into the freaking ground. You spending 200 million here, 250 million here, 300 million here, and ain't making your money back. Hey, on the streets, you don't make your money back, it's gonna be problems. Because you got people that want to see a return on their investment. At Disney, that's called a board of directors. Them the people you got to see when you make these trash ass series and these trash ass movies and they underperform. And you know what? I'm going to stall them out and I'm going to say this. First 10 years of Marvel was unnatural from a financial standpoint. Unfreaking natural. Ain't nobody done nothing like that and clock money like that. They had the Midas touch. The hell happened? Well, when you say stuff like, we're not going to be looking at comic book related people for our source material anymore. Wait, what? How? What? I'm going to make porno movies, but everybody's going to keep their clothes on. That ain't porno. That's Skinemax. I'm going to make sports movies, but I'm not going to consult anyone in the athletic field. I'll make a movie about football, but I ain't going to talk to nobody in the NFL or the NCAA. Where do they do that at? That's a recipe to lose money. Why are you actively trying to lose money? Star Wars, they should separate from Disney. Marvel, they should separate from Disney. Disney is the devil. Okay? Disney is the devil. Disney is 100% demonic because they don't care anything about anybody but Disney. I want to put this propaganda out here. I want to brainwash you. You know what I'm saying? And it's been that way. It's always been that way. People are like, oh, Disney, why did they just... Disney has always done that. The problem is we've been cool with it. The formulas worked for Disney for what? How long Disney been around? 70, 80, 90 years, 80, something like that. It's worked since then. They've been making like consistently making movies since the 40s. '40s and '50s, they didn't have to do nothing but make movies that appealed to white people. White people soaked it up. And we went along because there was nothing else for us. So we cling to the Jungle Book like Mowgli's black. It is what it is, man. I would keep the division separate instead of this branding synergy, chasing illusion. Like I just said, they burned 230 or so mil on She-Hulk. Disney. I'm preaching to the choir. I'm aware that I'm preaching to the choir, but there has to be an understanding at a certain point that this cannot continue. And if Marvel's still going to be a part of Disney, we ain't never going to see some of our favorite characters. What the? We ain't never going to see some of our favorite characters. Why? How stupid was it that they had Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. fight Earth-based metahuman villains that they wouldn't let the movie hero face? Yeah, because I'm like, how the hell is S.H.I.E.L.D. fighting Graviton? That's an Avenger level threat there. Earth-based Avenger level threat. That could have gave him hell. Probably would have made a great movie. You won't get to see it as long as Disney's running things. Notice things went extra south after Kevin got more creative control. Exactly, because Kevin ain't the kind of cat you need. It was Kevin who said we ain't gonna talk to comic-based folks when we making our comic-based movies. Marvel has been gentrified. Marvel has been neutered is what has happened. They done had their creative balls cut off. I'd walk up there and say, you MFs don't see that these MFs are hollering for $1 billion character that you MFs won't recast? Y'all trying to go broke on purpose? It sure in the hell looks that way, Gray, that they are trying to go broke on purpose. Marvel needs to land at Netflix. Anywhere but damn Disney. Okay? Because Netflix blowing up with them live action anime joints, you know. They like, okay, Marvel don't want to rock with us. Well, we'll go get the rights to these animated joints and put them on the screen. I would love a live action Big O. Big O show time. That was my show. That was my show, man. I used to love me some Big O. Funny, Disney specifically bought Marvel and Star Wars for that young boy demographic. They always had the young girls demographic. Yeah, but now it don't look like they got nobody graphic. The first Avengers didn't age well due to the Chitauri's lameness. Any Star Trek crew murks Chitauri. Probably. I watched the Investors Day calls coverage. They letting Iger have the business over these mistakes. Giving a rocket launcher to a baby. It sounds like a multi-billion-dollar tax write-off, which would get them multi-million or maybe billion-dollar refund. Russo brothers fought Feige over Infinity War and Endgame. He wanted to kill off all of the... And at this point, he has managed to. Amazon could get Marvel too. Yeah, then we could get some real edgy Marvel stuff like The Boys. Netflix, Big O would kill it. I love that somebody loves Big O too. Yes, I love the Big O. Big O was amazing. Roger Smith. Granted, they can push the envelope further, but The Boys trounced any MCU stuff. Well, yeah, because Marvel ain't willing to go R-rated, except in certain instances. But if generally you could make an R-rated Marvel movie, or every Marvel movie, or a vast majority of Marvel movies was R-rated, man, imagine what Werewolf by Night would have been like if you went on ahead and let go and said, let's make that R-rated. I rest my case. Disney is $48 billion in debt. Shit, that's all? I want a big old figure. They about $200 and something. I want a big old figure too. You can send me one for my birthday. Big old vet here as well. I know that's right. Look here, y'all. I think BPFG, y'all in the building. Black Panther fan group. Y'all in the building. Y'all in the building. Look here. Twas I who invited you for the hunt. So here's what we hunting. Let's hunt down some ways to make the BPFG more visible. How we do that, y'all? And this is gonna be the last topic of the night. I don't think I want to talk about trolling because I won't never get off of here. Here y'all go. Used to call my Bronco a Mega Deuce. Stop giving us characters we ain't checking for. Okay. I know we ain't here. I know we ain't here. That's what I'm saying. What do we need to, you know what? We need a webpage. That's what we need. The Black Panther fan group needs a webpage. I know a lot of people like, we ain't got one yet. Yeah, we need one. That's what needs to happen. I mean, because there's a lot of stuff and there's a lot of things that we could link to and embed in there that would help to generate attention. We could have people like stop through there, and you already got, I mean, you got a lot of that stuff on here on YouTube, but by and large, people don't mess exclusively with YouTube. Yes. A Discord channel is an excellent idea. I'd be down with that. Need to do a web page. Definitely. Okay, so Discord channel, web page. Is there a Facebook page? There is a Council of Wakanda Facebook page, but there is not a Black Panther fan group page to my knowledge. The president's in here. Mr. President, do we have a Black Panther fan group Facebook page? There is a Black Panther fan group. Well, there's that. If there that stuff can, oh, we'll get on it. Okay, okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. President. So those three things. And since we are all of a more seasoned age, yeah, Facebook is probably a good place for us to set our walkers down at. No disrespect. And kind of, collaborate and parlay and come up with some ideas. But yeah, a web page and a Discord channel. Yeah, because I got some stuff I'd like to say for sure. There are other Black Panther fan groups with that same name. Are they called the Black Panther fan group? That's something we need to find out about. If they exclusively have the very same name. Also, right here, y'all, write it down, take a picture, whatever the heck you got to do. Remember, united voices are louder voices. And if we all saying the same damn thing at the same damn time, at the very least, they can't say we didn't say it. They can ignore it, but they can't say we didn't say it. And if we say it here, and if we say it over there, and if we say it when we at home on our turf doing what we do, ain't nobody can tell us different. So let's expand and unite all of our expansion. That's what needs to happen. So I mean, Griot's down. We get a web page, I can start contributing heavily to that. And the president and I have discussed some other things offline, and we're trying to put some other concepts and some things together, y'all, as a fan group, because I don't want to just be a fan group in name. I want to be a fan group that does shit. I want to be a fan group that's active. You know what I mean? Not just talking, oh, we're the Black Panther fan group, but all we do is say we're the Black Panther fan group. Don't want to be like that. It's not lip service, it's service. So let's get down for the get down, y'all. Look here. Shit, it's after 7:30, y'all. We've been in here yapping. I know it, man. I knew that Black Panther. We ran for about 45 minutes on that one topic. Glad we got to talk about color swapping and comedian copyrights. Look here, y'all. Grand Madam, Kamoyo, D. Steezel, Paul, all y'all that are in here, man. I appreciate y'all coming and rocking with me. Y'all always come and rock with me. Y'all keep rocking. We're gonna rock till we get to where we want to be. I dropped the email link. Why did I hit that again? So I'm going to go ahead and dipsy dip doodle up out of here. And again, like I said, I appreciate y'all coming out to play. I appreciate y'all coming out to rock with me. Y'all come with me for the next one. I am above 500 now, so I might start doing more lives. Might do a few pop-ups just to see how a pop-up goes and how many people show up and support. But for the most part, that's it for me, y'all. That's it. But fret not, I will be coming at you with another one of them other ones. And until I do, y'all be good. Be good to each other. Hit